So, Representative Fitzgerald, what do you think about the long-term prognosis for a mileage-based tax as opposed to the gas tax?
I'm letting the oxygen get back in the room here. I think that we have to be amenable to hearing out opportunities for funding that are not just a gas tax based. I sit on the Transportation Committee as well. And I heard one of my colleagues on the other side of the aisle say that that's a non-starter in committee. That's a non-starter. We can't come from a point of complete aversion to alternative funding methods when we do see that transportation is changing. We have licensing that's based on the MSRP, or the registration based on the MSRP of a vehicle. So you buy a used $95,000 Ford F-150, which sounds like a crazy number, but that's what you can get up to now with that King Ranch and the XYZ package. Now, but you bought it for $30,000. Well, now you're still paying the registration fee on $95,000. That's not reflective of what your community may be paying or really realizing. And so lane vehicle miles traveled, I do think, is something that needs to be incorporated as we consider the actual wear and tear. Gross vehicle weight is also something to consider. I drove by a Chevy Bolt EUV this morning, and that vehicle is probably just as heavy as my Chevy Traverse, which is 2 times the size. The fact is, the batteries that are in these vehicles now are heavier. There is more wear and tear. We are seeing an adoption of EVs, especially as the price continues to drop and more models become available, that alternative funding methods like lane vehicles mile traveled are going to have to be incorporated into this methodology that we're going to have for a sustainable funding future in infrastructure. Not just a moment in time, but sustainable as we continue to adapt into the changes in transit.